So now what we need to do is that we need to create the table. We need to create a table that will let us insert and get data from the database, from the table, and display it here, and also manipulate data. So the table that I'm going to be creating is the tasks table. So as you can see, the tasks each task is going to include the title and the description and the progress and also the status. So we need to create that table that will contain these columns: the title, the description, the progress, the status. How can we do that? Well, the first step is that you need to make sure that your XAMPP is running. You need to make sure that your Apache web server is running and also your MySQL database is running. And then you need to head on over to your local host. And then in the phpMyAdmin, let me open my database, which is Laravel _ tasks. As you can see, this database, and we need to create tables. So there are two ways to create tables. The first way is by using the phpMyAdmin, where you can immediately create a table here. The other way by using what's called the migration commands in Laravel, which is more professional. Therefore, I'm going to be teaching you how to do that, because the other way is very simple and it's just self-explanatory. You can do it. You can do it immediately. You can create here the table and specify the number of columns and click on go, and everything is going to be just fine. But let me here use the other way, which is very important if you really want to master Laravel. So how can you create a table using the migration commands that come with Laravel? First of all, let me open our terminal. I'm going to click here on view and then terminal. And then in the terminal, what we need to do is that we need to open a new terminal here and make sure that you are pointing to your project, and then you need to type the following: PHP and then artisan and then make and then hyphen migration and then create and then underscore and then the name of the table, which is tasks, and then underscore table, and then hit enter. And this is going to create a file that will let us specify the columns that we want before creating the table. So here it says created migration, and this is the name of the file. But where exactly is this file? Where exactly has this file been created? This file has been created if you remember, I told you earlier that in the database folder we have the migrations folder, and inside that migrations folder, anytime you type a command here, it's gonna create a file. It's gonna be created here in the migrations folder. As you can see, we have this file which has a date and then create tasks table. If you open it, you will find that it's just a very simple class that has two functions. It has the up and the down function. The up function which creates the table, and the down function which deletes the table. So we need to obviously we need to create the table. Therefore, we will be executing the up function. And here by default, here it says schema and then create and then the name of the table. Make sure that it's tasks with an S. And then here the callback function blueprint and then table. And here goes the columns that we want. So obviously the columns that we want are the ID, and then we want title, we want description, we want progress, and we also want status. So we want the title. I'm going to say here table, and then the table is going to be text. So I'm going to say here text, and then inside that text we want to specify the name of the title. So the name of the column, which is title. And we also want description. So I'm going to say here table and then text, and then I'm going to say description, and we also want, remember, we also want progress, and we want status. So for the progress, you can use the integer if you wish. You can use here integer. You can also use the float if you want to add a float number or number with decimal, or you can simply keep it simple with the integer. You can use the integer, again you can use the integer or the float. I'm just going to be using the integer because it's easier, and I'm going to say here progress, and then I'm going to also create the last column, which is the status. So the status is going to be pending or complete, or it's just going to be text. I think it's better to specify it as text. So I'm going to say here text as well. And by the way, if you want to make it Boolean, some people like to just make it Boolean and it's going to just be 0 or 1, where 0 it means that the task is in progress, and 1 means that the task is being is done and has just finished. So here I'm gonna just use text because I think it's better to have more options than just 0 and 1 and 1. So I'm gonna say here text and then status. And now that you are done, all you need to do is that you need to make sure that the syntax is correct. And finally, you need to open your terminal one more time, and you need to type the following command. You need to type php and then artisan and then migrate. And what this is gonna do is that it's just gonna migrate your table. It's just gonna create the table, migrate or create the table. In Laravel, we name creating a table. We just refer to creating a table, migrating. So here, as you can see, it has created the tasks table, and it also has created a few other tables. It has created the users, the password, the failed jobs. These tables are just default tables that come with Laravel. But the most important one is the tasks, because this is the one that we have just created. Now, to make sure that the table has been created, all you need to do is that you need to head over to your phpMyAdmin, and then you need to refresh your Laravel tasks database. And as you can see, if you refresh your database, you'll find that there are many tables. And if you click on the tasks, you'll find that we have the tasks. If you click on it, you'll find that we have many columns. We have the ID, the title, the description, the progress, and the status, and also created at and updated at. And if you click on the structure, you'll find that the ID is auto increment and it's the primary key. The title is text, the progress is integer, the status is text. So it created the table successfully.